Hi, everybody. Dugroz here with Dugroz Reports. Well, 2022 is in the rearview mirror, and you know what that means. It's time for a year in review. So, we're going to talk about all the rewards I earned in 2022 in the world of points and miles and cashback credit cards. This covers the period of January 1st of 2022 through about December 31st, 2022. My small disclaimer is that I put about because some programs make it easier than other to determine exactly when points post to the account. And to the best of my ability, I'm going based on the date the points actually posted. So the difference between December 31st and January 1st can be a little bit of judgment, but certainly not enough to stop me from doing a video. So here we go. Let's dive in. First up, Chase Ultimate Rewards. Chase is the program where I have the most credit cards, and it's very easy to track rewards earnings with Chase. So I'll go through each card individually fairly quickly. Here's my pantheon of Ultimate Reward earning cards. This review includes both myself in the gold border cards and my wife, player 2, in the pink border cards. I have 6, half business, half personal. She has 3, all personal. First up, I have a Freedom Flex that I got in July of 2022. I'll show the month and year that the card was opened on each screen directly underneath the card. There was a sign-up bonus of 20,000 points. I got a refer a friend of 10,000. 4X categories. These are what we think of as the 5X rotating categories, but the way they display it for points purposes is 1X on everything plus 4. So those categories that got me a total of 5X were 11,800 in 4 extra. I also had plus 2 on dining and prescriptions, drugstores, 3,200. And for the first year, at the time I opened this card, I locked in plus 4 points on gas, 9,600. And then 1X on everything, 5,600, a total of 60,200 on my Flex. Mrs. Dugroz also obtained a Freedom Flex towards the end of the year in November, 20,000 point sub, 1X on everything. That's 20,700. I am rounding to the nearest 100 points, and this card is still earning, but most of the rest posted after the beginning of this year. My regular old Chase Freedom, this is the original Freedom Visa. I did some rotating categories, 14.6, another 4,800 when you add in the 1X on everything. Shop through Chase, that's like their portal reward system, 300 points. That totals 19,700. Mrs. Dugroz also has the original Freedom Visa, and those categories, 13.9, everything else, 3,700. Shop through Chase of 400 for a total of 18,000. She has a Freedom Unlimited, which is the personal card that gets you 1.5x on everything. And there was 1.5 additional for a total of 3 on dining and drugstores, and some shop through Chase. And that brings the total to 17,700. I have a Sapphire Preferred, and 3x on dining gets me 1,800, 3x on online grocery 1,400, and 2x on travel 2,800 last year. 1x on everything else, 1,300 for a total of 7,300. The Sapphire Preferred is a card that's a gateway to transfer partners and the Chase portal, and in the past, pay yourself back in a meaningful way. It's not a card that a lot of earning happens on. On the business side, I have 2 Ink Business Unlimited cards. The bottom one, actually, the sub hit in this year because I signed up for it late. I should say the sub hit in 22, signed up in late 21. At the time, it was 75,000. 1.5x on everything is what this card earns for 19,700, combining them together. For a short period of time, I think it was in the spring, there was a promo for spend $5,000, get an extra 5,000 points on top of your 1.5 on everything. That got me 5,000 points for a total of 99,700. And my final Chase business card is the Chase Ink Business Cash. This is the one that's famous for earning 5x on office supply stores, including Staples, who frequently sells fee-free Visa cards, and I frequently take advantage of that. 77.3. It also gets 5x on phone and internet, 8,009. 2x on gas, 600, for a total of 86,800. And this being my final Chase card, I totaled that up to 330,100 ultimate rewards. I'm going to value those at 1.5 cents per point. That's how much I think they are worth to me. This is kind of difficult to determine and very subjective. If I take them as straight cash, which I've done occasionally, 1 cent per point. Sometimes pay yourself back, I'll get 1.25 with the preferred. I could, in theory, product change to a reserve and get 1.5 in the portal. And then sometimes I'll transfer to Hyatt or other places like United and get well over 2 cents per point. But I'd say averaging that to 1.5 is reasonable. That's a value of $4,950 in cash equivalent. Before we go much further on this particular YouTube channel, we talk about finding epic value, including but not limited to credit card rewards. Does that sound interesting to you? If it does, please subscribe to this channel and please click the thumbs up button. Let's keep going. Chase took the longest by far. I promise the rest will be shorter from here. Moving on, American Express membership rewards. My wife has the most membership rewards, a platinum and a gold, both obtained last year. Neither of them had the sign-up bonus fall in 2022, but the earnings I have listed are a total of 151,800. AMEX makes it kind of difficult to break that down, so I'm not exactly sure how that all squares up, but that's how much I earned in 2022. If you look at this graphic at the bottom, it's not the left figure, that's the total of all points in the account. It's the bottom right, and I did capture this before the end of the year. Again, rounding to the nearest 100 points. The American Express Platinum doesn't earn much beyond just 1x and everything. Had a nice big sign-up bonus. Keep it for ancillary reasons, at least through the end of the current year. The gold earns, of course, 4x on groceries as well as dining, and that's probably where the vast majority of the usage came in. I briefly also had a +4 on everything on that gold card, so I was really raking it in for a while. But that's what it totals up to, just under 152,000. I personally, on the business side, have an Amex Business Green. Not the greatest card, but I was targeted with an offer related to the sign-up bonus as well as adding some authorized users, which made it well worthwhile. The sub was only 25,000, but the total of my earnings were 240,000. With a combination of the +4 from referring someone plus these targeted offers on authorized users, there was a time where I was getting 40,000 MR points for every $5,000 of spend I was doing. So that's where the vast majority of that came from. Add those together, my wife's plus mine, that's 391,800 MR points. I'm going to value those at 2 cents per point. Sometimes Amex is a little harder to use, but I did transfer some to Air France. I'm booking an international flight this summer, and that alone was in the neighborhood of 4 cents per point. So frequently I can do better than 2, so I figure using at least 2 is reasonable. That comes out to $7,830. We'll fly through some more programs. The rest of these will go pretty quick because most of them are single cards or just a pair of cards. US Bank's FlexPerks, I have the Altitude Reserve. I got a retention offer of 5,000 points early last year, and it earned 17,100. Almost all of that was 3x on mobile wallet for a total of 22,100. I value these at a fixed 1.5 cents per point because of their real-time rewards program. You can apply it towards travel for a credit offset at 1.5. So that's a $330 value. Next up, GoFar Rewards. This is from Wells Fargo. I only have this one Wells Fargo card. It's a Visa signature card that is closed to new applicants. I did earn on this card. I earned 79,700 points. There was a brief time where I had a targeted offer for 10x points on every dollar spent on gas and grocery. And at the same time, my local Hy-Vee grocery store was selling Visa gift cards at a giant discount. So I hit that pretty hard. And that's where probably 70,000 of the 79,000 came from. Those I also pegged to a fixed 1.5 cents per point because this card allows you to book airfare through their portal at exactly 1.5 cents per point. And I found that portal to be very fair and reasonable. That's a value of $1,200. Next up, CapitalOne Miles. I have a Venture X card I got early last year. The Venture 1 at the bottom I've had for over 20 years. It began its life as a non-rewards card, converted more than once, and ended up as a Venture 1 card. So I mainly only keep that open for the credit history. It's my oldest existing card. But 99% of what you'll see was on the Venture X. That had a sign-up bonus, which was 100,000 points at the time. I got it early on when it came out, and I earned 89,200. Now, Capital One makes it very difficult to track your earnings. So the above is an estimate. It is 2x on everything on the Venture X, and it mixes in 10x on hotels, which I booked through their portal twice and got the 10x. I think that's a pretty close estimate, but it may not be exact. That's a total of 189,200. I value these at 1.25 cents per point, and that comes to $2,370 in value equivalent. If you wonder why 1.25, ask me in the comment section below. Cashback cards. I'm not going to read all these off individually, but here are the 7 different cashback cards that my wife and I have. I guess they're all in my name. The US Bank Cash Plus is a jointly owned credit card. If you have any questions on these, feel free to pause it, look them over, and put a comment down below and ask me how I came up with these amounts. That comes to $1,420 in cash back. Hotel rewards. We've got IHG at the top, Hilton in the middle, Wyndham at the bottom. I won't read each of these individually. I'll just mention that the 2 IHG cards we did sign up for in May, and 140,000 point bonus on each of those. That's how I got the lion's share of those. If you have any questions on how I came up with the valuation, cents per point, put a comment down below. But when I add these up, that's $3,380. So let's look at some totals here and we'll get our results. We have Chase, we have American Express, US Bank, Wells Fargo, Capital One, cashback cards, and hotel cards. And when we add them all together, we get, drum roll please, $21,480 in cash equivalency value. Now, that's great and really good, but of course I can't just hit the print button and have $21,000 in cash come out, with the exception of the cashback card. Some of them you can cash out for a lower value. So if I use these for a reasonable value, this is how much total value I think I could get. I'd say not too bad for a guy that only spends around or slightly under $2,000 a year in annual fees gross, and only around $1,000 a year in net annual fees after rebates and such. So what comments do you have? What questions do you have? Put them down below. I will try my best to answer each and every individual question. And thank you for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that thumbs up button. As always, may your spending be frugal and may your points be plenteous. Thanks for watching.